FPE in parts, free FPE in parts, like, and do what, guys? I mean, okay, so we make the, free FPE in parts, and then what's the point of playing the game? You already got a vehicle that can do lots of stuff, so what's the point? Why not give everybody a free Abrams tank to, if we're doing that? For me, it's like the same thing. That kind of defeats the purpose.
That's
like,
a good plan, actually.
yeah, like just give everybody a Cobra, give everybody an Abrams, give everybody a T-80B, and then some parts. And how about some Golden Eagles? Like, that's the point. This mechanic was always in the game, so I really don't understand
we
that.
Also
like,
give everybody every vehicle in the game, and then we don't need to worry about it at all, do we?
That's true. Yeah. Like, how about we do that?
Have we got any?
Well, first of all, giving everybody every vehicle in the game would be nice of you, and making the research and the price cost a little bit better would be lovely. However, it's not about that. It's about actually getting parts for these vehicles, and it's about getting fire prevention as standard, which is something that should have been done from the beginning. The fact that it's not is just ridiculous. Now, what Gaijin are basically saying here is, wah, wah, our players, wah, we want to be given stuff, wah, wah, we want to have free items, wah, wah, why don't you give me stuff, wah. And that's problematic. Now, they have started doing this for things like the reserve vehicles. Reserve vehicles now get parts and FPE as a standard feature. However, it's just reserve vehicles. As you get to higher tiers, it becomes harder to unlock these parts. For instance, when you unlock a top tier vehicle, which most people want, everybody wants to play the new Abrams or the Type 90 or the Leo 2, things like that. People want these things. They get them and they're almost unplayable because you get hit once on your cannon and you can't repair it. You can go to a cap and maybe repair it, but if your tracks get hit, then they auto repair at least. But if your engine gets hit, you're stuffed. You're stuck in one spot for the rest of the match. There's also the fact that right here you can see these tanks have fire extinguishers on them, actually modelled in game. Why have that if you're not going to actually give them to us? It would almost be like not having flaps on a plane. So you have to unlock flaps for your plane. So planes aren't too bad with stock because basically you just get default rounds, which can just be terrible in the fact that they get practice rounds or omnipurpose ball bullets, things like that, which are pretty much useless. But you can still do okay in a stock plane because planes are different to tanks in the fact that, you can hit them. Now, planes could have fire prevention systems, especially bombers. It would make sense because they did have them in real life, and they don't seem to have them in game. But, having that system on a plane and having that unlockable, I would understand, because planes generally, when they catch fire, they're going to go down and they're going to crash. So, it kind of makes sense in that respect. However, for tanks, and especially for naval, makes no sense at all. It's just beyond a joke and it's ridiculous. The fact that Gaijin made that comment and Sean made that comment on stream means that Gaijin have taken notice of what we're doing and they are getting frustrated by the constant negativity, and it means that we are probably winning. Now, if we look at ships, for instance, you can see on ships you don't get those parts unlocked either, and that's really problematic in ships, especially when you're playing patrol boats. Take for instance the flak barge here. You don't get parts or fire extinguisher. Now you do get a pump at least. I'm surprised that the pump isn't actually behind a paywall as well that you need to unlock to be able to stop yourself from flooding, because it, with their logic it would make sense. But in boats it's simply not fun to play because the sheer amount of machine gun fire with incendiary rounds on them is ridiculous. Now your crew do put out fires, but it takes them a long time, and it takes them so long that your ship burns down before it gets put out. I've never had a fire put out by my crew before I've burnt to death. It's just ridiculous, and it ruins gameplay. It ruins the fun. There's no fun involved in it, and that's the whole thing. Is, Gaijin, you're making a game. Now, if we look at the destroyers, for instance, first things first is, you know, destroyers are big targets. You're going to get hit a lot with a destroyer. One fire on a stock destroyer and that's it, your game is effectively over. You may as well J out. The other thing is if you get damaged, so say your engine gets knocked out, you're just floating dead in the water then. And you can see here, there are fire extinguishers on the actual ship. The hell? Seriously? There are actually fire extinguishers on there. What, did the German Navy just, you know, forget to fill them before going out to sea? You know, that's the thing. It makes no sense. If a vehicle has them modelled on it, it should have it as standard. It only makes sense. Ships not having fire prevention is just ridiculous. And the fact that you need to unlock 2 modules before you can get the fire protection systems is just ridiculous. So anyway, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to take out a Tiger. Now, a Tiger is a heavy tank, of course, and that means it's expected to be frontline fighting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove my parts and fire prevention equipment from it. So that way we can see how piss poor it can be when you don't have parts and fire prevention equipment. Now, as I said, I'm post-recording this now, so unfortunately there was live screen, but there was no audio, of course, so you get to see me just being, you know, stuck and looking like an idiot as I play. So now you get to see me looking like an idiot as I talk. But it is just this thing that their stance seems to be that we're entitled. We're an entitled group that thinks we should get everything for free, thinks that, you know, oh, we should get vehicles for free. No, we don't think that. We don't want every vehicle in the game. We don't want to be well, you know, look, none of us would mind being gifted an Abrams or gifted all the tanks in game, but we wouldn't mind grinding things if they had parts and FPE as standard. Now, you don't need to make it so, you know, make it a single-use consumable until you unlock the upgrades. Make it an upgrade, not a actual, you know, essential item, which it currently is. Making it an upgrade would mean you get fire prevention and parts as standard. So maybe the parts take twice as long to repair. Takes twice as long to repair your vehicle without the upgrades. Because the parts, instead of being parts, it's tools. They call it tools and specialised tools. So basically it cuts down your repair time and stuff like. So basically what it is now. Basically makes your repair time to what it is now. Whereas if you don't have them, it's double that to repair your vehicle. And that would be completely fair. You know, it's parts still are there and they're still needed, but they're not an essential item. You have them unlocked at the beginning. The same thing goes with fire prevention equipment. And screw you, umbrella, you're in my way. Fire prevention, have it as maybe a single-use fire extinguisher. You just get one fire extinguisher in your tank, you get one use of it, it's enough to get you out of trouble when you get that random shot that just hits your fuel tank and sets you on fire, and you're just there, and even though your tank is completely mobile, and you're having a good game, you can't do anything about it, and you just slowly burn to death. Have that in there, because that would make it somewhat more playable. Because when you have a stock tank, and when you have a tank without parts and FPE, you have to play passively, and that's what I'm doing right here. I can't really push places because I'm terrified of going out in case I get my cannon barrel knocked out or I get set on fire. You know, if any of those two things happen, my game is over in this tank, and I can effectively have a game where I don't get a single kill in this vehicle, and therefore I have to go again. and it could take me up to, say, almost 10 matches, say, to unlock those two parts, the fire prevention and the parts. Now, I use a premium account, as people know. I'm just taking the parts because it's still just standard account. I hate it because it just, anyway, but premium accounts don't give you that much of an advantage, in all honesty. It's not a huge advantage, but even so, with premium accounts, it still takes me around about 5 to 6 games to unlock parts and start unlocking FPE. Not unlock FPE, but start to unlock it. And that is just ludicrous and ridiculous, because these are items that are really needed, and it only gets worse the higher up you go. For instance, with the Tiger 2s, you know, you're relatively high VR, so parts cost an awful lot to research. You need a lot of research points to unlock them. You need a lot of lines to unlock them, and it makes it very frustrating to play a vehicle when you don't have that. Now, of course, there is always the thing that you're going to get one shot, and you're not always going to need those things because you're going to get blown up anyway. But when you're playing a Tiger, you're not meant to play it as this sort of sniper that just keeps really far back and doesn't go into the battle. You need to basically tank with it. The same with, say, the IS-2 or the IS-6 or the IS-7. You know, you're playing a tank in an RPG respective. You know, you're playing a vehicle that you need to actually tank in, to go in front of things, take some shots. You need to soak up the shots, you need to be the target, you need to go ahead of your medium and light cats so that they can then flank and get into good positions. You know, you can't just sort of hold right in the back of the map constantly. When you do hold right in the back of the map constantly, it usually causes problems as well, because you're not helping the team as much. And you can't help the team as much because you don't have that ability to push. So it really does, it's a catch-22, and there's really nothing to do about it. As I said, with naval as well, it's just ludicrous, because naval without parts and a fire extinguisher just... So we're going to go on a bit of a hunt now. We're going to start moving forward. Now, this is really scary now, because I don't have any spare parts and I don't have the fire extinguisher. So if somebody clips my engine right now on this bridge, I'm stuck here for the rest of the game. If it sets me on fire, then I'm dead. There's no point in thinking I might as well just jay out there, isn't there? You know, it removes the ability to have fun in the game. And at the end of the day, this is what this is. It's a game. It is a game. It's not a simulation. It's not, you know, it's not this sort of house there just misses. A casemate tank destroyer, so we've just got to be careful going in front of that guy, because chances are he's going to be able to sort of cause a lot of damage to us. But the issue still stands, and it's just very frustrating to not have those parts, not have fire prevention, to be in this position where you are effectively stuck and you can't enjoy the game, you can't play the game. Now right now I don't notice that there's a super Persian to my right, and he ends me in one shot, and that's fair enough. Well, he doesn't interact me actually, he just goes straight into me and destroys me. So my game is over there, and parts wouldn't have made a blind bit of difference. But say he'd hit my engine or hit my gun, then I wouldn't be able to fight back. I wouldn't have any ability to fight back against him, because my gun barrel would be down and I can't repair it. So I'm going to take out the Panther F now, which is the sort of best Panther. If you look at the tech tree, it's the sort of, it's the Panther that's sort of the last you unlock before you get the Mighty Panther 2. But the thing about the Panther F is it was a pretty crap tank because it was made cheaply. Basically, this was a mass production vehicle. It was made to be mass produced. It wasn't actually made in the end. Well, it was. There were a few made, but it wasn't made in the numbers. One thing about it, you know, is it does have that mantlet, which is very similar to the Tiger 2, things like that. the turret is a little bit better on the Panther F, just because it is a little bit smaller. Just means less to shoot at, basically. It gives it a little bit more survivability in that respect. But generally, the Panther F is, you know, a much worse tank than the actual other series of Panthers. Anyway, I'm starting to lose track, so back on to the subject. You know, so we're not basically playing as entitled brats. We're not just going on, oh, we need to have this because, oh, you know, we don't have it, so we want to have it because we should get it because we're millennials and we feel entitled to have these items. You know, we want them because it's our right to have them. You know, no, it's not our right. It's not our position to have them. Luckily, we get a nice critical there. It goes straight for his turret, take out his gunner and his loader. So now we're going to go for him, and of course it's a Pershing, so it's quite hard to go through. Now I can go through his lower plate, but I forget that at this stage, so I try to go for the machine gun port shot, doesn't work, and now I'm just going to go for trying to take out a couple of crew members. Doesn't really go through, so I'm going to start aiming for his gun in a moment. And if this guy doesn't have parts, well, he's stuck because I've taken out his cannon. His cannon's no use anymore, so he can't shoot his gun. And I've effectively crippled him. So if he doesn't have parts, now he's just a sitting duck. He might as well just jay out. Obviously, this guy does have parts and is repairing, but if he didn't, it would be the end of his game. And this guy played well. He had a good game. He was playing really well. This is the same guy that killed me, of course, earlier on in Tiger. So now I'll go for that lower. Well, I'm going to take another shot at the turret. Just getting some extra research points and lines here, basically. It's good to soak them up on the Pershing. So he's going to start moving towards me. So we'll take out the gun again. So this guy's cannon is taken out once more. And now we're going to aim for that lower plate before anybody else can kill him. And we get the kill. But as I said, if he didn't have parts, then he's effectively screwed and we can't do anything. And that's the real problem, and this is where it lies, it's not the fact that we want to have this all unlocked. You know, we're going to spawn camper back here, so we're going to deal with that bastard. It's not the fact that we want to have them completely unlocked. Just give us a slightly different mechanism, give us a slightly different mechanic, as I said. Make it so it's a tool set that, you know, makes repairs faster. Make it so the fire prevention you only have one charge standard, and then when you unlock it, you get maybe 3 charges. Make it a little bit better than it was before, you know, make it a little bit, you know, so you get 3 charges of fire prevention, so that way you can have 3 survivors of fire, which would be really nice, and really help out gameplay, because, you know, the worst thing is to die from fire. It is just a really sucky way to die, and it happens a lot because of planes. You know, you might get a plane flying over, and it sort of gets a hit on you, and sets you on fire, just from a fuel tank, and you're going to die from that. So another Pershing there, super Pershing, and that's been gone. Our spawn is now safe. So our team has gone and pushed on to spawn camp, of course, and we've lost Alpha. Now we are recapping it, thankfully, so things are going well, so that is good news. But as I'm saying, it just... The response that Sean made on that stream is extremely unprofessional. And he's a player. Like, he is a player, he plays the game, so he should understand how frustrating it really is. And I guess because, you know, maybe he gets some free bits and bobs because of being, you know, part of the team, but it ruins gameplay, and it ruins the enjoyment of ground forces when you can't play a tank because you don't have those bits to play the tank with. You might as well say, oh, you need to unlock tracks. You know, when you get the tank stock, it comes without tracks, so you have to just drive on the boat wheel. You know, and it's just ridiculous, and completely fluffed my shot there. I was going to go, switching from my binoculars to my gun, and I had my fire button pressed like a complete numpty what I am. I was a complete cockwomble this morning. I one, forgot to actually start recording and start doing voice, and two, did stuff like that. But somehow I'm still having a good game. Anyway, you know, it's just, the response that they had is just really, really frustrating. And it's just this thing of, you know, the players are not there to have these items as, you know, this thing of, you know, yes, we want them because we're entitled, you know, yada yada yada. It's because those items are sort of needed in the respect that the game is almost unplayable without them. The guy just gets a shot off before me, it's like a milliseconds difference. So I'm going to go and start overlooking Alpha, and also keep an eye to the right hand side. And as I said, it's the same as like having a plane without flaps. Oh, hello. Take you up before you can take my friendly out. So we saved, I think it's a Tiger 2 to the right of us, saved his life, and he actually thanks us, which is kind of nice. Always nice when you've got friendly people on the side. So my audio is going to kick in any second, so I'm going to stop here and I'll actually get back to the proper audio. I just realised I was recording this without my microphone on. I'm going to have to re-audio double this. Yeah, I've just been ranting for the past, you know, this whole match without my microphone on. Oh my god, that's a new low for my stupidity. I'm feeling amazed by that one now. That's just epically stupid on my part. So yeah, I'll add the audio in a minute. And what I was basically saying is just about 5-dimensional parts. And the really, really poor choice of words and actions taken by Gaijin on their live stream, basically calling us crybabies. Yeah, now the audio is not going to sync up properly because my face is going to be doing stuff different to my voice, which is going to be fun. So yeah, so the whole reason I had the camera up is so I could actually record this and, you know, be on camera talking. So yeah, that's a good move by me, complete mastery move by me. Epic job, epic job, Carl. Well done, mate. And it was a good game as well, so I'm not going over this. I'm gonna just record in post. But anyway, you know, if you have an amazing game like that, you can unlock parts and bits and bobs. You know, the Tiger 2, I would have unlocked parts in that match at least, because I managed to unlock whatever it was I was researching, the heat shell. You know, but I would have unlocked those, you know, the parts at least, and a little bit towards horizontal drive or tracks. But the fact is, I need to unlock one of these modules as well to then unlock fire prevention, which, you know, means that I have to have maybe, what, 3 or 4 games with that kind of luck and, you know, that many kills and wins and stuff like that. And you don't get it. So usually in a, you know, what's this, a rank 4 vehicle, I think, rank 5, you know, it takes 5 to 6 games just to get parts and fire extinguishers, just to make yourself useful, which is just, it's beyond a joke, and it's just ridiculous that that is a thing that is just, you know, considered acceptable. You know, it's not the fact that we feel entitled. It's not the fact that players think they deserve it. It's the fact that players want to be able to have fun in their vehicles, and they simply can't with this current system of stock syndrome. This current system where, you know, naval vessels have no fire prevention equipment and parts. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, I'm going to go to record the audio for this now. Yeah, so as I said, I'm sorry about it not syncing up, but yeah. And look, we really need to be on this, people. You know, we need to actually tell Gaijin, look, it's not the fact that we're whining because we want the parts and fire prevention equipment. It's the fact that it's not fun when you don't have it. It ruins the gameplay. It makes it not fun. It makes it not enjoyable. It makes it pretty much unplayable. Okay, guys, until next time, this is me, Carl Screezilla, out. Bye-bye.
Hello, I'm here, don't forget I'm here.
But the other thing he just did there is he did light up the rear tyres and get some heat into them. And that's really important. If you can get some heat in those rear tyres, you're just going to get slightly better drive out that restart.
Excellent.
So the pace car is coming in right now.
Excellent pickup, Carl. A little bit of heat gives you that little bit of grip because they cool off while they're just rolling around. So, alright, so pace car's peeling off.
A bit of
And away we go. Oh!
There we go.
Did Leah just run up the back of Smith then?
Yeah, actually Leah just ran up the back of Smith, just ran straight into the back, and and Smith's
just gone down.
Martin is going around. Jason Martin's gone around. Jason Martin has gone around into the back.
And it's
Big, huge crash.
Massive
massive